Hello again, everybody, and welcome back to another great episode of the Our Town Community Show. Can't be more excited to have my long-term friend and colleague, Art Wood, with us today. Art, my friend, how you doing, buddy?
Any better, I'd be illegal, man. Very happy to be here.
Awesome. Well, there's Art and I've known each other for decades and hold him in highest regard. Where we're going to kind of do Art 360 today. You know, and do you ever make money off that? You just let me know. Okay. Yeah. But Art, you know, this show is going to be seen pretty much around the globe. Obviously, you have a strong following, you know, in Georgia and the Southeast. But just tell us a little bit about yourself and your family, you know, just to start with.
Man, I 48 years old. We were just talking about, you know, coming up on 50, but really born and raised in Tucker, Lilburn area. Office is on Main Street, Tucker. You know, when you go to high school, you never think that you're like, let me get the heck out of here or whatever, and you come back, and it's been such a blessing for my family, myself, my wife of 14 years. Just forgot our anniversary. I forgot our anniversary a couple of weeks ago.
I saw that story.
Yeah, she's a California girl, but been in the South forever. We have two wonderful children, and are very involved in the community, and it's just. Wake up every morning feeling blessed.
Yeah. Well, and that's why I wanted you to have on. I mean, and I hold you in highest regard for all the stuff you do. I ran into a mutual friend of ours one day, and they were talking about something I was doing. I'm like, you can't keep up with Art. I said, I can't try to keep up with Art. I said, I'm already exhausted with where I'm at. But no, but let's talk about that, Art. You know, you've been worship leader, and you've done so many things with music and, you know, reaching people. And I think one of the things you and I share in common is we don't have to throw Bible verses at people to lead, right? I mean, I think you can push people towards a light and make a difference, and you have many ways you do that without like making them run the other direction.
Well, I feel like in business and in faith and everywhere, you know, it's, you know, I remember a teacher that used to have that I struggled with and everybody else didn't or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then I'd go to another one and it was just who connected with who and how. Mm-hmm. And so, yes, I mean, I'm not going to be out there spouting Bible verses, but I'm going to go out there trying to be the best man I can be, use my talent of, you know, being gregarious and song
but
and
you're
what
real.
have you.
But you're real. You're not trying to be somebody you're not.
Oh, goodness.
You know, and I mean, you and I both on the boat is, I mean, you know, you like it or don't like it, at least it's consistent. I mean, you know.
That's right.
And so that's the part there I think a lot of people get caught up on, and, you know, and in the faith component, they're just like, yeah, it ain't for me. I'm like, dude, you can have fun and live your life to the fullest. I mean, it's one of those things. But
Christians are not boring.
Exactly.
Christians like to have fun.
Yeah, they do. And you know, I got to watch your band perform, which it was really darn good. It was the first time I ever got to see it. And then, you know, not too long ago, I was riding around with you, so we had a good time. But let me talk about another one of, I'm not going to say this again, my wife's our producer today, so it's the F words I can't say. So the 7 Fs. Not just fitness. You and I are talking about, you know, the holidays and, you know, getting fit, but spiritual fitness, mental fitness, emotional fitness, physical fitness. How important are those disciplines, you know, when we're all working hard? But to the average person, fitness in terms of, you know, the foundation of your life, is that important to you?
You know, I would love to say it is, but yeah, I'm still the mentality, if it feels good, scratch it.
Yeah.
You know, I wish that I were more disciplined, and it's. I feel like I've been so blessed because we've had so many wonderful things happen in our life, and I'd love to look back and go, man, I planned it. Mm-hmm. You know, I really sat down with a plan and I executed on the plan. And you know, one of those things they say, you know, you want to make God laugh, tell him your plan. You know, so you know, there's certain things that you know you got to do. I mean, you know, I was just having that talk with my son today. It's like, yes, you have to do school in order to be able to do Minecraft or whatever. I have to go to work so we can go for this vacation and all this stuff. And if you keep doing those things, so I say I'm not disciplined, but you know, at the end of the day, maybe it is.
You know, though, Art, I love what you just said there because I actually relate to that very well. Is I know the goals I'm going after, but I don't necessarily have some step-by-step plan of how to get there. And I think maybe since you and I kind of live in the world with relationships and sales, possibly that gives us a little more flexibility to pivot, juke, and jive without going, well, I'm one step off my plan. Nope. I mean, I too wish I could be more, but I don't even know if that'd be me. I mean, you know?
I mean, how many times do you beat yourself up? There's so many things that you could be doing in business and family. You know, I actually preached my very first sermon called "The Epic Fail."
Oh, wow.
And it was because, and I listed all the ways in front of the congregation how I fail as a parent, as I fail as a Christian and a husband daily.
Oh,
you
wow.
know, and I would beat myself up over it. And one of the things I said is, I said, we fail as a Christian, but God's not stomping on you,
Right.
kicking, He's picking you up and saying it's going to be all right. So I think folks that are entrepreneurs like us find ourselves failing often,
Yes.
or feeling like it, even though the world doesn't see us that way.
No, and that's the first thing when I she was our closer guest. We're like, oh, this is made for Art and Ryan, blah blah. But we too. I feel like I fail every 5 minutes,
Yep.
and then I have to remind myself of that thing. I really do, of grace, saying, I don't know exactly what you think because I'm too. I'm like, here's my plans,
Mm-hmm.
but if I don't hear anything in the meantime, I'm going to go this way. But I'll kind of throw up a prayer and go full
Yep.
speed.
Yep.
Well, and every time I say that, people chuckle. Well, that's to a certain extent. That's not, I don't know. It's the human way I was wired, and I believe if we're creating God's image, He has a sense of humor, and He has to do with us, right?
Thank goodness.
So in terms of fun, for Art to have fun, I know tennis is, you love tennis. You're still killing it, but tennis, by the way.
Yeah.
You're playing with those young guys. It's amazing.
So I played tennis in college and injured shoulders, but that's been one of the biggest blessings in my life in the last couple of years. I mean, really just right before COVID, we started getting back into it again, and I made all these new international young friends that I just adore. And it's interesting. I feel like I'm leaving an imprint on their life as well.
Yeah.
And my wife she's been injured most of the year, but she's a big tennis player. My son's a huge tennis player. So if we could just talk my daughter into it, but no, it's good. We love getting out and have fun. You can't spell party without Art either.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
All right.
So talk about fun.
All right. We'll put that under the Art 360 brand. Art 360, no party without Art.
That's right.
Look at that. Well, no, I actually miss it. I've had some issues, and tennis was something I thoroughly enjoyed, and it's just a great sport. Now, question, while we're talking about fun things, have you experienced pickleball?
I love pickleball.
Yeah, okay.
It's fun. I still prefer tennis.
Okay, I just am curious because being a tennis guy, I watch pickleball. I'm like, all right, I'm struggling with my I don't know how. See, I knew we'd do this for the show. We're like the old Bartles and James guys, so the Muppets up in the balcony. But I wonder with this whole pickleball thing. I'm like, I think even if I don't move, I can get that.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Okay, so if you can hit some good forehands and you're quick with the net, you're good.
You got to get down low because the ball doesn't bounce. Brian Barnes came down from Raleigh and
he's big into pickleball.
Yep.
He was telling me.
He and I got together and played, so it was great.
So he was telling me his stuff was shot, but he can play pickleball.
Yep.
So okay, all right.
Yep.
You're learning, audience. You learned some great things today. I mean, we're off of our 7F pillar, but you learned pickleball. No party. You got the word Art in it. Art
Maybe a couple P's. It'll be that's in a couple of P's.
We're going to pivot. We're going to pivot right now with a P to. What are we going to pivot to? We're going to pivot to the future. Okay. Let's look at 2022. I mean, you have, and I want to talk about some community stuff too, but what are you most hopeful for about the future going into 2022?
So we hadn't talked about it, but I'm in the mortgage business. And the last 2 years, I think in every economic crisis, there are folks that succeed and there's folks that don't, and so I felt guilty. The mortgage industry has done so well, and I really was ashamed to even tell people that for a while. But I just hope that we just don't have a full-on meltdown, to be honest. Who knows? I mean, there's so much weirdness going on
variables,
right now. So I some sense of normalcy, some sense of being centered, and I don't know, man. I just
well, let me ask you a question. So how fun? You're lead singer in a band. Band's really good. I know you hadn't get to play a lot, but when you get out and do it again, how much fun was that?
Oh, it's fantastic.
I mean, did you realize how much you missed it?
Yeah. I mean,
just the energy of people.
I was born to be on stage. I mean, I love it. It's my happy place. And so, what I tell a lot of folks is, make sure you have that time. I actually, in college, somebody asked me to go be a musician and a career day. Dude, I had played like 6 gigs in my life in college, with 4 people watching. And I'm going, don't. I mean, it was like the year before that, somebody like Pearl Jam had talked or something. And I was like, I'm not doing it. And the counselor came up, she goes, I actually, no, I don't want you to speak, but I wish you could, so you know how to enjoy your hobbies, without banking that your livelihood's going to be on your hobby. So I love doing it for a hobby.
Yeah, hobby. No, absolutely. And, it's funny. I have another friend of mine, and he is in the air filter business. And he said the identical thing you say. So our business, especially during the midst of the pandemic, is just boomed.
Yeah.
And he goes, I feel bad about it because you know, there are the people you know, that it's been really tough. You know, it's just because of, you know, and now we're dealing with other things. But I want to make sure a couple events you have so many events. I know you one big one is Taste of Tucker.
Well, we have a couple of things. So Taste of Tucker, we've been doing, I think, for 12 years.
You and your wife founded that, right?
Yeah, my wife and I founded that back in 2010. We did a kind of a lead-up event to that. And now there's thousands of people that come on Main Street. And it benefits Camp Kudzu and Networks Cooperative Ministries. And those are just things that I just love doing. And it's, you know, the other thing, actually, we do a big Salvation Army golf tournament. That's actually coming up. That's a full golf course actually this weekend. So really excited about that. We're going to be on Main Street for Christmas Eve at 11 o'clock at night, and it's a community worship service.
That's awesome.
And we didn't do it last year, and I love, you know, I don't care what church you go to. It's just I really don't. I just want you there as a community celebrating. So you know, there's a lot of things that we do, but I feel like God gives you gifts, right? So somebody told me one time, he said I had a gift of favor, and it offended me because I'd really never heard a gift of favor. And I'm like, God doesn't favor me. And he says, no, you have favor over other people. You know, and so I always thought that everybody could pull hundreds or thousands of people together, and I realized no, that is a unique gift to me
and a responsibility, right?
It's absolutely. It's like, you know, I would love to sit back and just relax sometimes, but I'm going, no, that's not using the gift.
I was telling someone that the other day. They was talking about, you know, looking at the different things of you know, I do with media and stuff, and I take those very seriously because you know what. I think you would agree, you know, at our age, there's just no guarantees.
No,
I mean, even if you go, I'm going to live 90 years old or whatever it's going to be. So how important is legacy to you?
Oh, legacy is huge. My son is the third, you know, and my dad was my best friend on the entire planet. And so if I look at one legacy, I mean, it's less than even in the community. I mean, it's more about immediate family, and I want to leave. I want to leave that roadmap for my family, my kids to follow, and say, yeah, for him to look back and say, man, he worked hard, he provided for his family, and dang it, I want to go do the exact same thing.
And you know, Art, that's what you do so well and what I try to do is, you know, is be there for my wife, be there for my kids, be there for my friends, be there for the community. And it's tough. And you know, you and I don't have any more hours in the day than anybody else. But I think as we come to the close of the show, you know, we'll have all the information at ryansauers.com, you know, so they can contact. But what do you say to the person out there listening right now that's just struggling, having a hard time? You know, this show will air in January 2022, but some words of wisdom or thoughts or anything.
You know, I think fear and worry are two of the worst emotions on the planet. Just keep putting up one foot in front of the other. I mean, you've been through bad times. I've been through bad times, and it's, you know, those things don't change. It's just how you react to them that do, and just keep one foot in front of the other. It
is, like I always say, that Rocky quote. You know, one punch at a time, one round at a time, because we all fail and we all get back up and we all work towards it. But I'm going to close this out here in a second. But Art Wood, my good friend, man, I really appreciate you coming on the
Always a blast.
Our Town Community Show.
Always a blast.
Absolutely. Well, folks, as always, this is my town. This is your town. This is our town. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you next time.